modeling and its applications. We have with us the speaker for this session, Dr. Yogesh, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Mathematics, Anand Institute of Higher Technology. In general, graph theory is the study of graphs and their properties. It's often used in computer science to find optimal solutions for problems involving networks or large amount of information. Let us explore some important aspects to learn more on graph theory. We are so happy to conduct 1 week FDP on such a significant topic for all faculty members of engineering and technology across different countries. Hope this FDP would helpful to you all to enrich our knowledge. Now I invite Dr. Ammu Kodishia, HOD Mathematics, to welcome the address for welcome address.
Thank you, Sudha ma'am. Good afternoon, all. This is Dr. A. Amukutsia, HOD, SNS Department, Mohammed Satak AJ College of Engineering. On behalf of the management, principal, and staff, I take great pleasure in welcoming our resource person, Dr. D. Yogesh, Associate Professor, Head, Anand Institute of Technology, Chennai. I welcome you, sir, and thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being a resource person. And, we are eagerly waiting for your presentation, sir. And also, I take this opportunity to welcome all the participants who have come from different colleges who have shown great interest on this topic. I welcome you all, ma'am and sirs. And also, I welcome our staff, N. Satya ma'am and S. Sudha ma'am, who's behind this FDP, who's doing great job and to make this a grand success. I welcome you, ma'am. Once again, I welcome you all. Hope you all have a great session today. Without further delay, let us open the session. Over to Sudha ma'am now.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I take immense pleasure to introduce today's speaker for Day 3 of International FDP. My hearty welcome to Dr. Yogesh, Associate Professor and Head of the Department, Anand Institute of Higher Technology. He received his doctorate in 2013 from University of Madras. His broad field of research is graph theory. To his credit, he has more than 16 plus publication in both national and international journals. He has also participated 17 plus papers in international and national conferences and acted as key speaker in various faculty development programs and guest lectures. He has organized international conferences, webinars, and workshops. He has 15 years of teaching experience. He is a life member in various professional societies, namely Pi Mathematics Association, Indian Associate for in the Technical Education, International Association of Engineers, All India Council for Technical Skill Development. Now I invite Dr. Yogesh to take over the session. Sir, now we can start.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Once again, I share my screen, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Start.
Once again. Is the screen visible, ma'am?
Not able to see your face, sir. Your camera is on, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
No, sir, your face is not visible here. This presentation is visible.
I just check. Open page. I did. It's not visible, right? Face not visible, amma.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know the reason exactly, ma'am.
Okay.
Shall I start my presentation,
Okay, sir.
ma'am?
You can start your presentation. No problem, sir.
Sorry. Okay, okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
sir. Okay, okay. Okay.
Is it visible?
Our screen is
Slides?
visible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very good afternoon to everyone present here. First of all, I thanks the organization of this international faculty development program on graph theory and mathematical model and its application. So my special thanks to AJ Mohammed Sadaq College of Engineering for inviting me to share my experience in the particular domain of graph theory. So today we are going to discuss dominations in graphs and its applications. So let us start the session with a quote given by the great mathematician. Mathematics is a language in which God has written the universe by Galileo. So there is no doubt in that. So because everything in the world is working based on mathematical concepts. So as a mathematics teacher, we need to be feel proud of this. So as we all know that graph theory is a very emerging area, and it's lot of research is undergoing in graph theory, especially in the field of especially by many mathematicians, as well as also many computer science people do the research in the graph theory, because it has a plenty of applications, especially in the field of engineering, specifically computer science. So there are a lot of people which who belongs to computer science doing the research on graph theory, especially in doing the analysis of networks. So this graph theory really is a very apt that topic is chosen by that FDP. So really is very useful for the young researchers who start their career in graph theory, because it has a plenty of applications. So it's applied mathematics, so we can do lot of things in the particular domain. So if you are young researchers, it's better to choose graph theory as your research topic, so that you can do a lot of wonders. So let us start with the what is the origin of graph theory and how it's get developed. So as you all know that the very famous Königsberg bridge sound bridge problem. So that is the treated as the origin of graph theory. So graph theory started with Euler, who has to find a path where there are two islands which are connected by seven bridges. So the problem is what? So we need to start from any land, and we need to walk over each of the bridges exactly once. That is all the seven bridges exactly once, and we need to return back to the same point where he started. So, for example, if you take a small paper, you start from anywhere, and without lifting the pen, we need to draw a structure, and we need to come back to the same place where you start without tracing the same line more than once. So this problem is referred as Königsberg bridge problem. So the great mathematician Euler. So this is the structure of that bridge. So the great mathematician Euler in 1736, he wrote his first paper in graph theory, and he became the mastermind of the graph. Yeah, there is no doubt. Lot of research has to be done by the great mathematician Euler. He initiated the study. Now it's plenty of applications in various fields. So the tremendous application of graph theory in the field of computer science is already mentioned. Not only computer science, it has a plenty of applications, various domain also, like data mining, image segmentation, clustering, image capturing, networking, are not even restricted to these areas. It has a plenty of applications in the field of even electrical and electronics engineering, ECE, electrical and communication engineering. So there are a lot of domains where the graph theory plays a very important role. So the application of graph theory include laying the telephone cables at a minimum cost. That means, for example, if you want to place the telephone cables, okay, so that what that people need to get benefited. So we need to identify the location where we need to place the telephone post, so that what with the minimum number of things we need to cover the maximum area. And also, there are many applications in computer science. So let me discuss elaborately. And we all know that data structure is a one domain of computer science. So it can be designed with the help of a graph theory terminology called a tree. So they do a lot of analysis based on that ideas, and they are using the properties of trees from the graph theory, and they do analysis. So the larger part of the graph theory has been inspired by the study of games and recreational mathematics. So the contemporary part has witnessed intense activity in graph theory. So, as we all know that that is communication networks, like social networks. There are a lot of networks which the world is around us. So, in order to design the networks, in order to analyze the networks, this graph theory, there are a lot of parameters is available in the graph theory which help to find the solution of the problem which they are facing in the communications networks. That is an analysis of communication networks, as well as on the designing part. So there is a strong a link between the graph theory and other branches of mathematics also. So that indicate how that the subjects get maturity. So, graph theory models. Okay, so there are many situations we can create the graph theory model. So, depends upon the problem. We specifically given the names for the nodes, that is vertices and the edges. For example, nodes can be represented as people, or and if they are known to each other or they are friends, they are connected by edges. And in anatomy, the nodes are nothing but the organs, and the blood vessels are nothing but the edges which are connecting between the organs. In astronomy, the stars are nothing but treated as the vertices, and the consultations is nothing but the edges. So, as we all know that Google Map. So. Today we are running around the Google Map, because without Google Map it's highly impossible to trace any area, right? So the Google Map, the construction of Google Map, the model, mathematical model behind the Google Map is nothing but what? Graph theory. So there are a lot of uh, uh, things has to be done. For example, if you want to find the shortest path between the two locations, so it can be done with the help of a lot of algorithms that are existing in finding the shortest path between the two vertices, two locations. So that can be and do analysis with the help of graph theory. So because so I think everyone knows that Google Map, how it's helpful in our day-to-day life. So this has to be working efficiently with the help of a concept that exists in the graph theory. As we all know that computer chips, okay, so in the computer chips we have millions of transistors, and they are connecting with a processor, they are connecting with each other. The thing is what, in order to design the computer chips most effectively, while connecting the two transistors, what happens, so in order to avoid the overlap, we have to create a small bridges. So what is the chip is more efficient efficient if the number of bridges is very less. So that means what? With the minimum number of bridges, we need to connect these transistors or processor, so that what it should be an efficient one. So this really this is a big task for the computer science people. So if you are converting this into mathematical model, that is especially graph theory model, so that is a concept called covering number. So using this technique, we can able to find the minimum number of bridges, so that we can able to connect the all the transistors on the processor, so that the chips is most efficient one. So the major role of graph theory in computer applications is the development of graph algorithms. So numerous algorithms are existing already in the graph theory, which help to find the solution for the problem that has to happen in the computer science. As we are in the academic sides, so we have come across the problem of timetable scheduling, really, and even the exam timetable scheduling is really is a very big task in order to frame the timetable for the examinations as well as for the course timetable. So we have the set of teachers and subjects and students and classrooms. So we have some constraints. So based on that, we have to create that timetable. So even though this problem is hard, but you can use this graph theory model. You can able to make this problem so simple. Let us see some small example to make you to understand the clear application of graph theory. I am giving this example for you. Uh, so um, there is a concept called a graph coloring. So what do you mean by graph coloring? It's nothing but we need to color the vertices of the graph in such a way that adjacent vertices does not receive the same color. So the minimum number of colors which are required to do such things. That means your proper coloring. So the proper coloring is the terminology we are using for color the vertices, so that adjacent vertices does not receive the same color. Um, so so that is nothing but what? Chromatic number. So this chromatic number, we can draw, you can color the either vertices, or you can do sometimes edges also. So this concept that is called graph coloring, this plays a very important role in order to find the solution for such problems like this timetable scheduling problem. So let us take the number of teachers. I give a small example. Let us take the number of teachers as 4 and number of subjects as 5. So these are the that is teacher subject requirement matrix. So the teachers one, there are 4 teachers and 5 subjects. So teacher one can handle subject 2 hours for the subject one, and 1 hour for subject three, and 1 hour for subject four. So what is our task is we want to find the minimum number of hours we need, so that what all this constraints to be satisfied. That is, every classes need to be fixed. Okay. So what are the conditions we have? We have certain constraints we have. That is, at any one period, each subject can be taught by maximum one teacher. That is a known thing. And second thing is what? If the teacher can, sorry, in one period, each teacher can teach at most one subject. Some soft constraints, that is, suppose the teachers who is handling the same subjects, so they can fix the class for 2 consecutive periods, but not more than 2 consecutive periods can be assigned to the same teacher for teaching the same subject. So these are the constraints. Based on that, we need to create the timetable. So what they are doing? So they are going to construct a bipartite graph. As we all know that, what do you mean by bipartite graph? A graph can be partitions into two disjoint vertex sets. So the edges are between the between two vertex set only. So there is no edges among the vertices in the same set. So such graph is termed as a bipartite graph. So we are taking the set of teachers as a one set and set of subjects as a another set. So these are the two disjoint vertex set. Now we are connecting these vertices because the teachers and one set, right, which are connected to the uh, subjects that are familiar by the teachers. So we are connecting those two vertices by an edge. Okay, so this is the way you have to construct the bipartite graph. Now we are start to coloring the edges. Okay, proper coloring edges. I has already told you, coloring the edges can do either coloring the vertices or edges. In this case, we are coloring the edges. So proper coloring, proper edge coloring, nothing but what we are going to coloring the edges. The constraint is what the adjacent edges does not receive the same color. So so this is the graph model for this particular problem, and they are coloring it, and we are getting four colors. So one dark greens, a light greens, blue, and pink color. So minimum four periods are required in order to fulfill these conditions. So we can do the same problem using vertex coloring also. So for that, what we need to do, we need we know supposed what is meant by line graph. So from the given graph, we have to construct the line graph. Okay, so if you know how to construct the line graph, this is the line graph for the given bipartite graph. So how to draw the line graph means, so we have to consider the each edges as their vertices. If the two edges are incident, they are connected by a edge. So in this way, we have to construct the line graph of the given graph, bipartite graph. Then we start to coloring the vertices. Instead of edges, we can do this coloring the vertices. Find the chromatic number. That is nothing but what? That indicate the minimum number of periods which are required to do this timetable. So based on that, so we are this is the period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4. These are the subjects to be allotted to the teachers, so that what our condition gets satisfied. So this is one nice example how the graph theory model can help to find the solution for our real-time problem. So now move on to our major domain, that is topic of the day, dominations in graphs. First, see what is mean by domination in graphs. So domination, so by word itself, what it dominating all the vertices. Yeah, there is no doubt in that. Let us see what is the origin of domination, and let us see some lot of variants in domination, and you can see that how it is applied in solving the real-time problems. S- So domination is in graphs as extensively researched branch of graph theory. Yes, I already told you how the graph theory has a tremendous application. So this dominations is nothing but is treated as a heart of graph theory, because a lot of research has to be done in, especially in the field of domination, graph labeling. There are some hot topics in the graph theory, domination, graph labeling, and coloring problems. So these are the some domains where extensively work has to be happen, because it has a plenty of applications in solving the real-time problems. So in a graph, a dominating set is nothing but what? A subset of vertices in which every vertex is either in S, or it should be adjacent to a vertex in S. So this is called dominating set. So yeah, I repeat again. So we are taking a subset of vertices in a graph. The condition is what? Every vertices in the graph either it belongs to S, or it should be adjacent to a vertex in S. Okay, this set is called dominating set. So where it is originated. Actually, the mathematician studied how the chess pieces of a particular type could be placed on a chessboard in such a way that they should attack or dominate the entire square of the board. That means what? As we all know that there are a lot of chess coins are there. They have a special properties. So based on that, we need to place the chess coins in the chessboard, so that what it should be dominated the entire chessboard. How we need to place it? For example, let us consider a queen. Okay, so let us see the how many queens are required in order to dominate the entire 8 by 8 chessboard structure. So according to the rules of chess, I hope everyone knows what is the rule for the movement of queen. It can move either horizontally, vertically, or it can be moved in the diagonally also. So, in the 1850s, chess enthusiasts in Europe considered the problem of determining the minimum number of queens that can be placed on a chessboard so that all the squares are either attacked by a queen or occupied by a queen. So finally, it was found that 5 is the minimum number of queens can dominate all the squares of 8 by 8 chessboard. Let us see how it is. Now, see this. This is a structure of a chessboard of 8 by 8. So now I am going to place the first queen in the first row, 7th position. That is A17. So that what the the colored which are marked with the red is nothing but what? So those locations are dominated by the particular queen. It can be moved horizontally, vertically, and diagonally. Okay, so these are the locations are dominated by this particular queue. Now, so I place another queue. So in this is I choose the A1, A2, 3, second row, third position. So now what happens? These the pink colors are the remaining dominated by this particular queues. Similarly, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. Now we see that what these are the minimum, and the mathematician they proved already this is the minimum number of queens required in order to dominate the 8 by 8 chessboard. So this is treated as the origin of graph theory. So there are because as we see that there are some games which is start which should be a starting point of the graph theory concept. But later we see that what it has a plenty of applications in various field. So it's tremendous applications. But seems to be it's a very simple games. But later we can see that how it is applied in various domains. So as I already told you, so let us take a graph with we do not do nothing but number of vertices and e set of edges. Be the graph with the vertex set b and edge set e. A set S subset of v is a dominating set if every vertex in b minus s, that means outside the set, is adjacent to at least one vertex in s. Okay, that is the another way of defining the dominating set. So what do you mean by domination number? So that is very, very important. That means what? What is the minimum cardinality of the set? That is yes, sir. So that what? It should satisfy the condition. What the condition? So every vertex in B minus S is adjacent to at least one vertex in S. So let us see some examples to make you to understand this concept very clearly. Okay. So let us see this graphs in the bottom. So there are two graphs I have given chosen for this example. The first graph, it's a gamma of g is equal to 2. That means what? It requires two vertices, okay, which are colored with red. Okay, if you see that any other vertices which are not colored with red, okay, so that is nothing but what? The red color vertex is nothing but what? You are set yes, sir. Remaining vertex is nothing but what? V minuses. So what is the definition says? So every vertex in V minus set should have at least one neighbor in what? Yes. So see is here. So here these conditions get satisfied. So every vertex in V minuses so have at least one neighbor in what? In S. So so as per the first graph concern. So your gamma values, that is gamma of G, gamma of particular graph is something but what? 2. See the second example where the 2 is not sufficient. So we need extra one more vertex we need to include in the set so that what? The every other remaining vertices are get dominated. That means what? So every vertex in V minuses have at least one neighbor in S. So this is the second graph with gamma of G is equal to 3. So these are the other examples. This is a well-known Peterson graph. So for Peterson graph, your gamma value is 3. That means what? Minimum we required three vertices, so that what the entire graph get dominated. The domination graph has special has application in several fields, as I already told you, especially in the facility location problem. What do you mean by facility location problem? Is suppose if you want to place the police stations in a city, or if you want to place hospitals, or if you want to place that construct the schools for the kids. Okay, so what we need to do, what government has to take on the steps means what they need to identify the location where the maximum number of people get benefited. So with a minimum number of resources, we need to plan it so that what your costs get efficient and also what the people get benefited. So this is the facility location problem, and there are many. These are the few examples I shared with you, but there are many places where in the real time where we come across this facility locating problems. So where with this graph theory model can help to find the solution for this problem most effectively. The concepts of dominations also appears in finding the um, monitoring the communications in our electrical networks, and also in land surveying. That is minimum number of places a surveyor must stand in order to take the measurement of for an entire region. So that how he need to place the location. So that is the problem that has to be solved by the help of a domination theory. So this particularly locating a radar station problem is to be probably discussed by mathematician Birch. So the number of strategic location has to be kept under surveillance. So the goal has is to locate the radar for the surveillance at a few of these locations as possible. I already told you. So with the minimum number of surveillance, we need to cover the maximum area. So how we need to identify such locations so that what with the minimum number of locations we can cover the maximum area. So we have to create the mathematical model for this one, and using graph theory technique you can able to find the solution for such problems. So the dominating sets in graphs are natural models for facility location problems in operational research. So facility location problems are concerned with the location of one or more facilities in a way that optimizes certain objectives, such as I already told you, we can minimize the transportation cost, providing the equitable service to the customers, and capturing the largest market share. So let us take one example shortly. So to understand this facility facing problem more clearly, in the cities, about there are 9 cities are there. So you want to locate some police hotel, so that what which that everything's to be safe. So what is the thing is the problem is what the police station is in the city is able to patrol the streets of the city, and every city in the vicinity that has a good road system. So if you place a police station, so in that location also it will take care, and those cities or those streets are adjacent to that location also take care by that police station. So now, suppose this is the graph model for a particular city. Okay, so if you see that I want to find the location of the placing this construct this police station, so that what every cities get monitored. So and our problem is what with the what is the minimum number of location we have to choose, so that what everything should be safe. So in this case, it is enough to choose what 3 locations as you marked in this graph: U1, U7, U5, or you can choose what U9, U7, U5. Like there are many, but thing is what minimum is obviously what 3. We cannot reduce it further, but we can choose some other locations so that what the same 3 cardinality. Okay, so as per this graph concern, so we need a minimum 3 locations, so that to in order to place the police station, so that what the entire city is under the control of that police station. So as per this graph concern, our domination number is something but what? 3. So, dominating sets can be used in modeling social networks and studying the dynamics of relation between the numerical individuals of different domains. The social network is a social structure made of individuals which are connected by one or more specific types of interdependency. The choice of initial sets of target individuals is an important problem in the theory of social networks. So, as I already told you, this the social networks plays a very important role in our day-to life. In order to do analysis of the such networks, we can use this graph theory model, and especially the dominating sets plays a very important role in order to do analysis of such social networks models. Coding theory. Calbridge and et al. That is the team of the Kokane headed team et al. So they are study the coding theory with the help of concept of domination. So they are defining the vertices of in such a way that is what is nothing but what is a vector 1 to p, and uh, if the two vertices are adjacent, if they differ by at least one coordinate, then the set of vectors is nothing but what NT covering sets. So using this model, they can do some analysis, and using that output, they can bring some conclusion on the coding theory. Now let us move on to the variants of dominations. So there are a lot of more than 100 variants are there in the domination. So they have give some restrictions either in the your set S or in V minuses or both. With respect to various parameters, because depends upon the real-time problem. So they are reframe that they give some restrictions on the set dominating set S or in the elements which is outside the V minuses. So based on that, we have a lot of variants are there. So as we are focusing on some variants like total domination graphs, connected domination graphs, independent domination graphs, restraint domination graphs, and Roman domination graphs, and distance k domination in graphs. So first, let us see what is mean by total domination. What do you mean by total domination? So as we already know that domination, so they are giving some restrictions on the set S. S nothing but what? Your dominating set. So a set S subset of V of vertices of graph without isolated vertices is a total dominating set. So what are the conditions given here? So in your set, whatever you are framing right already, dominating set, if the dominating set does not contains any isolated vertices, then we give a special name for that dominating set is nothing but what? Total dominating set. So what is our aim? So we want to minimize that cardinality of the set. So the minimum number of such vertices are required in order to do the total covering that entire dominate the entire graph is called nothing but what? Total domination number. See this example. The first example that we was these two examples you already see it for domination number. The same domination the set for the first graph, because as we know that that the set the color which is marked with red color is nothing but dominating set. There is no isolated vertices. So obviously what that for this graph, your dominating set as well as total dominating set both has to be same. Whereas in the second graph, if you see that previously in the domination, I'll go back. For this graph, yes. So we already know that. So for this graph, our gamma of G is equal to 3. But if you see that vertices which are marked in the red color in the graph 2, which are all are isolated. That means what? It's because there is no edge connecting those vertices which are in the set. Okay, all are isolated. So as per the condition, what total dominating set means what? It should not be any no vertices are isolated. So what I'm supposed to do? I need to include one more vertex in this set so that what none of the vertices are isolated. So we need to include, yeah, once again. Yeah, so we need to include the head vertex. Okay, so that what now we can see in the graph 2 there is no isolated vertices in our dominating set. So this dominating set you have a special name as what total dominating set. So for this graph concern, this is the minimum cardinality of vertices which satisfies the conditions of the total dominating set. So obviously total domination number for this graph is 4. So let us see what is the motivation, what was the application of this. These are some other examples for the Peterson graph. As we already know that 3 is the dominating set, but 3 is not sufficient for this total dominating set, because the vertex 9 is getting isolated. So no, actually in the first graph, everywhere every vertex is getting isolated only. So now we see that what in graph 2, if you place the choose the vertices in such a way that what all the vertices are get connected. Okay, there is no isolated vertices. So as per this Peterson graph concern, so we need a minimum 4 vertices to dominate the entire graph, which satisfy the condition that no vertices in the set are isolated. uh, yeah, so this is the way we have to arrange the cues. Okay, so that what there is no actually here isolated is there, sorry, one second. Okay, total domination. So where is applications? So consider the computer network, which is a core group for a group of file server, has the ability to communicate directly with every computer outside the core group. So in addition, each file server is directly linked to at least one other backup file server where duplicate information is stored. So in order to do this, what we need to do, we can introduce the total dominations plays a role in order to find the solution for this mathematical model for the problem that you are facing in the computer network. So a smallest core group with this property is nothing but what your gamma T set, that is a total dominating set for the graph representing the network. So that is application of total domination. Next we move on to the connected dominating set. So what do you mean by connected dominating set? Is the set of vertices of graph such that every vertex in V minus D is adjacent to at least one vertex in D, and the graph induced by D is a connected. So as we all know that what is mean by a graph, when you say a graph is connected, okay, so if the number of component is exactly 1, okay, so um, if we if the dominating set, okay, so if the dominating set that means the graph induced by the dominating set D, if it is connected, we are giving a special name as what connected dominating set. So the minimum number of such coordinates we are calling as what connected domination number. So as per this graph concern, your connected domination number is nothing but what 3. So if you see this graph here, so you must understand the difference between the total dominating set and connected dominating set. In total dominating set, what we have conditions, only one condition, because there is no isolated vertices. But here it's not like that. So the number of components should be exactly 1. Okay, that means the total dominating set should be a single component. Okay, so as we see this graph, so they are choosing the all the vertices in the outer circle. So that means what it forms a single component. So so we record 1 2 3 4 5 6, so 6 vertices in order to dominate also satisfies the required condition. So as per this graph concern, your total the connected domination number is nothing but what 6. So let us see the application of connected domination. As we all know that, especially computers people know that, what do you mean by ad hoc network? So ad hoc, actually, recent days we are using ad hoc network in most of the places where actually this network is an interconnection of mobile computing devices where the link between the two neighbor nodes is established via radio propagation. So that means what? So the neighboring nodes can communicate directly when they are within the transmission range. Otherwise, it's not possible to communicate each other. So even you know that in cricket stadium, previously the cameras are fixed in on one location, but nowadays the cameras is not in a fixed, it get moving. So within this moving, and not only moving, it can communicate with other cameras also using this transition range. This is called wireless ad hoc network. So in this particular thing, so communication between the non-neighboring nodes required a multi-hop routing protocol. So there is a protocol which is required to connecting between the communication between the two nodes. So the wireless network consisting of static or mobile hosts that can communicate with each other over the wireless links. So each mobile host has the capacity to communicate directly with other mobile hosts in its vicinity. I already told you. So for example, if a group of devices are there, there might be one devices which have the maximum capacity to communicate to other sources. So what they'll do, so the remaining devices can communicate the message to this device. In turn, it share it to the other devices. So this is what in real time problem it happens. That is called a wireless ad hoc network. Um, the design of efficient broadcasting and routing protocols is very challenging for ad hoc networks. Among various existing routing and broadcast protocols, the one based on dominating set are really very promising. So actually, this CDS, connected dominating set, it plays a very important role. The main advantage of dominating set based approach is that it simplifies the broadcasting or routing process to the one in a smaller sub network generated by from the uh, that connected dominating set. So only the dominating vertices uh, the CDS plays a very important role in order to find the solution for such designing efficient ad hoc networks. Next variant is K domination set in a graph. So what do you mean by K domination? So as we all know that so far we discussed each vertex can dominate exactly one vertex, right? That is a distance at a distance that is neighboring or adjacent vertex only it should dominate. But in our real time problem, for example, if you want to place construct schools or construct hospitals in some economic point of view, we not only cover the adjacent cities. So in some situations where we can cover the adjacent two cities, okay, for example at a distance two. Okay, not only at a distance one. Adjacent at distance one means what? So those cities are adjacent to that particular city. They're calling it distance one. So if you go for beyond that, okay, so if you locating the hospital, it should be covered the cities which are adjacent to that particular city, and also what those cities are adjacent to that particular one, that is at a distance to whatever cities at a distance to, those all should cover by a particular node. So that is called because this is a very important problem, so which we are faced in our day-to-day life. So that can be solved with the help of this new concept, K dominating set of a graph. So a K dominating set of a graph is a set of vertices and B such that every vertex X and B, there exists some vertex Y and B, satisfy the condition what? The distance between X and Y should be less than or equal to k, not only equal to k, it should be less than equal to k. So those vertices are getting dominated by this particular vertex. So as we all know that we are trying to optimize, that is we are trying to minimize the number of vertices which satisfy this condition. Is called k domination number. So let us take this example. In the first example, it is k equal to 1. That means what? It's nothing but what? Your dominating set. So second example, k equal to 3. That means what? Whatever the vertices which are at a distance 3 can be covered up by a single vertex. So it is enough to place one vertex in that location which is marked as a black color. So we should be covered remaining all the vertices, because all the remaining vertices should be at a distance of another 3. So I already told you uh, in our day to life we have come across such problems. So in order to find the solution for such problems, this k dominating set plays a role in order to analyze such things. So the k domination problem is a natural model for location problems. In a generic model, each vertex g is a customer and potential site for the facility. So I already explained that. This is nothing but what? Factor of a graph. Factor of a graph means a graph can be partitions into various designed vertices, so that what? Each node, each collection can be monitored by or dominated by certain collection of vertices. So that is called factor domination in graphs. For example, if you take K8, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, K6, sorry, K6. So these are the G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, something but what? Factorization of, we are disconnecting the edges, okay, in such a way what? All are a disjoint collection of edges. Now we want to find the domination for each and every G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, and we are trying to optimize it. That is called factor domination in graphs. So, as an application of this concept, consider the communication network modeled by a graph. So, we have a set of k disjoint networks, F1, F2 up to Fk. Each subnetwork class, for reasons of security or redundancy, the communication channels modeled by the edges of the factor that are independent of the channels used by other subnetworks. So, the network subnetworks F1, F2, Fk, they represent the minimum number of master stations required, so that a message issued simultaneously from all the masters reaches all recipients after traveling over this communication link. So that so this problem has to be solved by the help of what? Factor domination number. Next variant is pad domination number. So what do you mean by pad domination? This is again another variant of a dominating setter. Say a pair dominating set is nothing but what? A dominating setter which does not contains no isolated vertices, and also what? The graph induced by the dominating set, okay, is a perfect matching. What do you mean by perfect matching? As we all know that a set of independent edges with s- uh, sorry. Um, so actually, as we all know that perfect matching is nothing but what? It's a set of independent edges. So that what? It should be we are trying to collect the set of edges which cover the all the vertices of the graph, and also what? It should be acting as a dominating set. So if such conditions get satisfied, we are said to be what? That particular dominating set we are calling a special name as a pad dominating set. So the minimum coordinality required in order to construct it, there's nothing but what? Pad domination number. As per this example concern, so the colors which are marked with the black are, we can see that what? All are edge disjoint collections. It forms a perfect matching, and also what, it dominate all the remaining vertices in the graph. So as per this graph concern, your pad domination number is h. So what is the application? So if you think each S belongs to that uh, the pad dominating set as a location of the god capable of protecting every vertex in n of s. So we are locating the god in the vertices, so that what, the particular god, it should be protecting the vertices in the neighbors, that is neighbors of particular s. Okay, those vertices which are adjacent with s can be protected by the uh, particular person who is located at S. Okay, at a particular vertex. So the dominating requires every vertex to be protected. For total domination, each god is protected by another. For path domination, we will require the god's location to be selected as adjacent pair of vertices, so that each god is assigned one another, and they are designated as backup for each other. Suppose in case something's happened for the particular god, so that what, the one more god is already adjacent with him, right? So he can come under help for the particular god, so that what, that vertices in B minuses get what, protected. So this is the one real-time applications where the power domination helps to find the solution for the real-time problem. uh, our next concept is independent domination graphs. So it's very simple. When you say yeah, dominating set is independent, that means what? The set is independent. Independent means I already know that where vertex designed. Okay, there is no connection between any two vertices in the set. Yes, it is called independent set. If the dominating set is independent, then it is we calling a special name is what? Independent dominating set. And the minimum cardinality is nothing but what? Independent domination number. Again, this has also very nice applications. Actually, it was introduced by Berge et al. In the year of 1962. Later, Coconut Hedinimi et al. Give a name notation as I of G. So the idea of independent dominating set arose in again the chessboard only in 1862. This Dejans posed a problem to find the minimum number of mutually non-attacking queens can be placed on a chessboard, so that each square of the chessboard is attacked by at least one of the queens. So previously, there is no constraints on placing the queues, so that every board is getting, so every location is getting dominated by the queues. Here they give some restrictions on the location of the queue, because no two queues are attack each other. So we need to place the queues in such a way what they are not attack each other, getting attack each other, so that what is the minimum number of queues is required in order to satisfy this condition, and also what, and the board also get another getting dominated. So the minimum number of mutually non-attacking queens that attack all the squares of this chessboard is the nothing but what, independent domination number. So as per the uh, analysis, it is identified your alpha of G. That is I of G is nothing but what, independent domination number is nothing but what, 7. That means what, they require 7 queues need to be placed, so that what, they are not attack each other. These are the few examples of independent domination number. So especially this concept is applicable in the clustering of networks. Clustering refers to the interconnection of servers in a way that makes them appear to operation environment as a single system. So cluster means some group. We can make it as a group, and it's to be monitored by a single person. So the cluster service is a collection of software of each node that manages all cluster specific activity. So share resources in a cluster may include physical hardware devices such as disk drives and network cards or entire applications and databases. So in this especially the cluster networks, so this independent domination set plays a very important role in doing the analysis. Finally, we are going to discuss what do you mean by restraint domination graphs. So far we are giving restrictions only in the set yes. Okay, that means we are defining independent, totality, connected, K domination. So all based on the restrictions which we posted on the dominating set. But here, restraint dominating set is a different concept. So here the definition is we are choosing a set, dominating set. So when you say it is a restraint dominating set, means what? Every vertex in V minus S, that means outside that set, right, has a neighbor in S as well as in V minus S. So that is the problem. So we have to identify a set. So it's achieving that every vertex in outside the V minuses has a neighbor in S as well as what? V minuses. So those minimum cardinality of vertices which satisfy this condition is called a restraint domination number. Really, it's quite interesting domain. Variance in domination theory. A set S subset of V is a restraint dominating set if every vertex in V minuses is adjacent to a vertex in S as well as what? Another set in V minuses. So this concept is introduced by Tet et al. Every graph is a restraint dominating set. We say set the D itself is the smallest restraint dominating set. We are trying to minimize it further. Okay. So the notation is gamma R of G. So for this graph concern, as we see that here, the colored, the vertices which are colored with black is nothing but what? A restraint dominating set. Why? Because if you see the other vertices in V minuses, so you can choose any vertex, it should have a neighbor in S as well as for V minuses. Can kindly check it. Every vertices. For example, if you take U1, so U1 has a neighbor in S, nothing but what? Your B. And in V minuses, it have a neighbor as B1. Similarly, for V1, have a neighbor in S is V, and in V minuses is U1. Similarly, so for every vertex has a neighbor in S as well as for V minuses. So for this graph concern, so we need 5 vertices in order to dominate this entire. But for this graph concern, your domination number is 1, but your restraint domination is what? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they are actually one possible application of the concept of restraint domination is prisoners and gods. Here each vertex not in restraint dominating set correspond to a position of a prisoner, and every vertex in the restraint dominating set corresponding to a position of the god. So what actually means each prisoner's position is observed by a god position. Okay, that is the dominating set. While each prisoner's position is seen by at least one other prisoner's position to protect the rights of the prisoners. So for that, he also monitored the prisoner's position. So to be cost effective, it is desirable to place the few gods as possible so that what the condition gets satisfied. So this is the small applications of this restraint domination number. But there are many real-time problems. This concept also applicable. Okay, so another because we are running out of time, I just tell some interesting ideas of what do you mean by Roman domination number. So so Roman domination number is a quite interesting concept, and there are a lot of variants also to be formed in the Roman domination. So the Roman domination, nothing but what? the problem is you want to place the gods, okay, gods in such a way that the entire cities get protected. So how many gods we need so the conditions here they specify here. um, So graph protection has significant roots at the time of ancient Rome Empire. The third century, Rome dominated not only the Europe but also the South Africa and the Near East area also. The Roman army at the time was strong enough to use forward defense strategy, which deployed adequate number of legions to secure every region throughout the empire. So, what actually the Roman Empire feels they want to optimize the things. So, with the minimum number of sources, they want to protect the entire empire. So, what they actually decided. One second. Directly go on to the particular problem. Okay. In modern analysis, there are solutions that will secure all the empire. One solution is deploy one field army in Britain, two field armies in Rome, and one field army in the Asia Minor. See this example. So, if there is any attack in Egypt, okay, what actually the Rome people, Rome that in Rome actually we are locating two gods, right? So, one god from the Rome will go and protect the Egypt. So, for example, if North Africa, if there is any attack in Africa, so the person we are fixed at Rome, they can come under or the team they can come and help the North Africa. In such situations, there is another person who is still in the Rome. He will take care of the Libya. So this is the way we have to safeguard the entire system with a minimum number of resources. So this minimum number we are calling as a special name as a Roman domination number. So here we have a lot of different protection strategies, single attack or sequence of attacks. So one cases we are discussing what happens if there is only one attack happens at a time, so that the system is protected. In some we are defining another set of problems like a sequence of attacks. So in sequence of attacks, we need to move the peoples, so that is a protector, so that what the systems get the entire system get protected. In some cases they are using different terminology, eternal domination, eternal domination. So eternal domination, think about what in that single movement alone allowed for a sequence of attacks. In eternal domination, multiple movement. So I give an example to make you understand this concept clearly. Once again, yeah. And suppose these are the graphs is given to you. Suppose there is an attack happens in that particular location. The guards are placing like this. Okay, if there is attack in that location, what happens? Um, uh, that's the first graph. So in order to protect that particular vertex, the god which is located in the top one, he has to be moving down, and there is another person who is moving up, so that what this graph get protected. If there is an attack in the next position, again the movement should be like this, so that what again the graph get protected. So as per this graph concern, we need minimum 3 guards required, so that what the entire cities get protected. As I already told you, eternal domination. In this case, actually, it is enough to require only 2 guards. Why? Because here multiple movement is allowed. For example, if there is attack in this position, the new position should be like this. So the guard which can be moved upward, and the another guard who is moving down, so that what the entire system is what get protected. But in the previous example, for one attack, there is exactly one movement should be allowed. But here is a multiple movement should be allowed. So like that, they are defining various constraints, so that what are relaxations, so that they are defining a new parameter. And there are a lot of researches going on in the field of Roman dominations. These are some examples. So I think I plan to explain some more concepts called differentials and graphs, but actually we are running out of time. I don't want to take much more time. So this is my research area. Actually, I just to give a small introduction about my research area as differentials and graphs. It's quite similar to the uh, uh, domination. So social networks such as Facebook or Twitter have serves as important medium for communication and information disseminating. As a as a result of massive popularity, the social networks are wide application in the viral marketing of products and political campaigns. So, for example, I given a small example to explain my concepts very easily. Once again. So suppose there is a graph is given to you. You are allowed to buy as many tokens as you like. Okay, for example, if you are buying K tokens, so what is the and the cost of each token is $1. What is the conditions given? You are pays the tokens on some subset of vertices of P, such that for each vertex of G which has no token on it, but which is adjacent to a vertex which has token on it, you receive ₹1. So if you place the token such a way that how many vertices which are adjacent to a particular vertices, how that much amount you are getting as a profit. Now the thing is what is the minimum number of tokens we need to buy so that we get the maximum profit? Let us see this example. Suppose I am buying a coin and place it in that head vertex. So how many vertices are adjacent with that head vertex? Six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is there. So your profit is what? 6 minus 1, it is 5. Suppose I place another token in this question. Now I can see count the number of vertices uh, they are adjacent with these two vertices. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices are there, which are adjacent with these red color marked are located places. Okay. Totally 8 vertices is our profit, because we are getting the amount for the vertices which are adjacent with the tokens. Okay. But actually we have spent only ₹2, right? So your profit is what? ₹6. So I place another token here. If I place the another token, my profit is get reduced by 5. Okay, so that I not you it is no use of placing the coin in that particular place. So as per this graph concern, so it is enough to buy 2 tokens and place it here so that we get the maximum profit of what? ₹6. So this is the problem. Problem. So mathematically, how they are defining means what? Uh, 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 Actually the main application is what? Suppose you want to conduct a political campaign, okay, in the city. So what you are trying to do,